Let's look at the following problem. Four masses with mass capital M. So 1, 2, 3, 4 masses are connected by light springs with spring constant K. So there is one spring here, one there, one here, and one there. The system spins at an angular velocity omega about an axis perpendicular to the plane and through the center of symmetry of the system. So we have represented the axis of rotation with a dot in the middle, and the whole system spins in that manner shown, namely in a counterclockwise direction. The springs have a relaxed length of L, so that distance is L, like that. Assuming equilibrium, how much delta L are the springs extended? And state the condition for stable equilibrium. So when we talk about equilibrium, we are referring to a case such that this delta L maintains its value. It doesn't fluctuate as the system rotates about that given axis. So let's see what happens when the system spins. Now let's concentrate on this particular mass. Of course, we know as the system spins, you have the effect of a centrifugal force due to the inertia effect that would make the springs a little bit like that. However, centrifugal force is fictitious force in physics, but it has a magnitude equals to the centripetal force. So the free body diagram for this particular mass would look like this. As the system spins, the mass M would feel spring force from the left in that manner and from the bottom in that manner. So let's call the spring force FL and F down. Together they would combine to give you a centripetal force towards the center of rotation. So that is F centripetal. Let's determine FL. From Hooke's law, it equals to the spring constant of that spring. We know all the springs have the same spring constant, namely K, times the stretch, which is delta L. Since this spring is also identical, in fact all the springs are identical, Fd, the downward spring force on this mass M, also equals to K delta L. One thing to note, we are assuming that the system is in field-free region. So there is no gravitational field, for instance, so we don't have to worry about the effect of weight. So let's look back at the free body diagram on mass M. So you have FL going like that, FD vertically downward, so the centripetal force FC must be given by FL squared plus FD squared square root. So substituting the expressions from here and there, you see you have K delta L squared plus K delta L squared square root, which will give you square root 2 K delta L. So that is the magnitude of the centripetal force towards the center of rotation. However, we know the formal definition of centripetal force equals the mass times the radius of that circular trajectory. In this case, the radius is given by that distance from the mass to the center of rotation times omega squared. So equating these two, we get the following. mr omega squared equals square root 2 K delta L. Remember, we are looking for an expression for delta L, the extension of the spring. The next step is to determine this radius of that circular trajectory in terms of, say, little l. So basically what you have here is a right angle triangle like that. So this is R. this length here equals half of that length. So the entire length equals the original relaxed length plus the extension, delta L. So half of that should be L plus delta L over 2. Likewise, this length, due to the extension of that spring, is also given by the same expression, L plus delta L over 2. Since this is a right-angled triangle, from Pythagoras' theorem, you can get R as L plus delta L squared over 4 plus L plus delta L squared over 4 square root, which is 1 over square root 2 L plus delta L. So now let's substitute this expression in here, and you're going to get m 1 over square root 2 L plus delta L omega squared equals square root 2 k delta L. We are interested in delta L. So let's try to solve delta L in terms of the rest. M over square root 2L plus m over square root 2 delta L omega squared equals square root 2k delta L. So let's bring this term to the right hand side, and you're going to get m over square root 2L omega squared equals square root 2k delta L minus m over square root 2 omega squared delta L. So let's factorize the delta L out. You have delta L times square root 2k minus m over square root 2 omega squared. Let's make the denominator equal. So this will become 2 over square root 2. The left hand side is ml omega squared over square root 2. And you see this square root 2 will cancel that square root 2. And that will enable you to solve for delta L. And if you do that, you get delta L equals ml omega squared over 2k minus m omega squared. This is the expression for delta L in terms of the mass, the relaxed length, the angular frequency, and the spring constant, namely the given variables. Part B, state the condition for stable equilibrium. The condition comes from the denominator of this expression. Now we note that the extended length has got to be positive, and of course it cannot be 0. So you can set 2k minus m omega squared to be greater than 0. That means 2k is greater than m omega squared, which makes us to conclude that m omega squared over k is less than 2. So stable equilibrium is possible only if this condition is met. And that solves the problem. Thank you for watching.